it's outside and mostly kind of together. Still has no seat, hence the blue work shirt for a seat. The wiring's not covered, but it should be okay. And well, I'm just going to see what happens. Seriously, first attempt at driving. Front brakes don't work too well. Well, that was fun. Oh, I lost one. Well, that was fun. The bearing in the front that holds the front of the steering shaft, well, it kind of fell out somewhere. That's what the clunking was. On the way back, I only got into second gear, but I think I get the gear ratio right. It's quite fast. There we have it, first drive. Definitely will be better on tarmac. Woo! Ha! Alright, so that worked. I decided I'd go to helmet this time. was fun. So I'm going to have bruises right across my lower back because there's no seat and I was bashing into the chassis. But most of that was just in second gear. I did get into third once, just coming up the yard. And, well, yeah, I think I'm going to change the ratios a bit. I'm going to rebuild the rear tensioner because, well, it derailed and I thought it might have. Yeah, that's a lot of fun. So I'll get this back in the shed and I'll pull it apart and see what's going on. So back to the shed. And here we are back in the shed. So this was the issue. What happened was I'd come around the corner, got off the throttle, pulled the drift brake and derailed the chain. It also bent the retaining clip on the joining link and, well, it kind of came apart. So apparently the drift brake is not a lot of use. Yeah, who'd have thunk? Anyway, that's one issue. Now, the chain tensioner, I'm thinking that I have to rebuild that, make it a bit more adjustable. So the other thing, we're going to change from a 73 down to a 63 tooth rear sprocket. And the reason for that is because I could take off from a stand in second gear really easily. And third gear, well, still relatively easy, but third gear, not sure how the clutch was enjoying it. But we definitely need a small sprocket because first gear, you got to change out of that after about 4 meters. So first gear is rather useless. Alright, other things, yeah, I was having issues with it stalling, and that is because the battery wasn't fully charged and it wasn't receiving a charge. So it could be the stator, could be the rectifier, or it could be the wiring. I'm going to check the wiring first, and if I can't get it working, then I will go hunting elsewhere to see what the problem is. Now, other wiring issues, the speed sensor, it's not working, it's not talking to the dashboard. Yeah, just rather minor one, doesn't really matter. So that's that. Other things, well, I think that's just about it for the wiring. So, got to show you what I did. Well, I collected a lot of green waste. When I put this together, I made this big block of nylon. There's actually 3 layers of 10mm nylon. It's got one little screw holds it. It's got alignment dowels in the form of these riv nuts that hold all the relays in place. It's held together with 3 bolts and riv nuts that have not been riveted. So that just goes in there. That holds the chain so it doesn't hit on all the riv nut heads. The riv nuts had to be there, but that also means this tensioner works better. One screw and it's stuck. So that works really well. I've had no issues with this chain. I do have the cover to go on the engine here to cover that up. And, well, everything else here seems to work rather well. So put that back in. I put about a litre of petrol in the tank, just enough to cover the bottom, and I drove it ran around the backyard probably 10 minutes, and it still seems to have exactly the same amount of fuel in it. So, economical enough. Now, I'm going to fix these bits, fix the wiring, and I don't think it's worth filming. I don't think it looks that interesting, so I think the next cubman video will be making the guards, or the bonnet, or both, and I'm also going to do a video about the seat, but it's not necessarily a cubman video. Hope you enjoy seeing the cubman drive for the first time. Now the first clip, that was actually the first drive. I pushed it out there, set up the camera, and hope for the best. Anyway, that's it for this video. As always, customize everything.